Oops.
Hello.
Hi, I'm going to get down really low.
She's sitting on a taller chair.
Yeah.
Would you like me to go get a smaller chair?
No, because then we can't sit close enough to each other.
Okay.
Or we're like this. Hi.
Well, we're getting ready to go here, and super excited to be talking about a week in review with you, live with Bottleneck, a week in review with Sara and Jaime. And today we're going to be talking about what's our topic today?
Not follow up.
No. Oh my gosh.
See, look at us.
Look at us. We have a topic, but it's not. Usually we have it up here, and it's not here today, and we can't think for ourselves. So we are going to go ahead and get going here. I'll play the intro, and hopefully we can remember it and find out. So we'll see you in about 30 seconds. All right. Uh-oh. We're having trouble streaming to LinkedIn. I just got a notice.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, hopefully LinkedIn will pop out there in a second. So, hey, we'll see you in just a minute. All right, we are back and we're almost there. Appreciating every day is what we're going to be talking about today. Appreciating every day. And so that's going to be the underlying theme or tone of what we're going to be talking about today. And so before we get into it, I guess we can talk a little bit about what does appreciating every day mean to you?
Getting up and being grateful that all my limbs and digits and brain function as well as they can. I'm getting old. They're not functioning as well as they used to. But, I'm grateful for everything that has been given to me and that I have. I have a roof over my head. Many people don't have a roof over their head, or they worry about having a roof over their head.
And it got really cold last night. Woo.
Yeah, and food. And, I'm grateful.
Yeah, me too. I'm grateful for her. So if you have any questions or comments today as we're going through this, please ask away. We'd love to hear your input. If you've never tuned in to a week in review with Sara and Jaime, live with Bottleneck, it's a special edition where we help try to stop the bottleneck in your business. And the reason why we do this and we go through a week in review is because we want to share with you the insights of what we have going on here at Bottleneck. And it oftentimes, a lot of the things that we find challenging, I think a lot of other people may find challenging. And so in some way, shape, or form, maybe this can be helpful to you, or maybe you can help us out. So what we do in this, the format of it is we do a week in review. So we look at this past week, we look at the challenges we've experienced, we look at the wins, and then we look at things that we're going to do to overcome those. And then we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing next week. And we'll also talk about accountability. Last week, did we accomplish the things that we wanted to accomplish this week? And so one of the things, do you remember what you wanted to accomplish last week?
No.
Well, I remember what I wanted to accomplish last week. Last week, I wanted to make sure that I was able to work on workflows and processes and get that stuff down. And we have been killing it. I have to say, I actually had a very positive week this week. A lot of things I wanted to do, I was able to complete, and it made me feel awesome. Oh my gosh, Jody Kringle. Hey, how are you? Jody Kringle, voiceover actor. And this past week, Jody Kringle was one of my guests on Live with Bottleneck, and we talked about the power and importance of audio in building your business, building your brand, building your podcast. So Jody Kringle, go check her out. She's an amazing voiceover actor, singer. She's absolutely amazing. So let me see. Anything that you did this week that maybe you experienced some challenges on, or
I experience challenges every day. Yeah, so consistency, a little bit of consistency in our verbiage. We're kind of changing the hierarchy here, and responsibilities are transferring around within the company because we have Jovelyn now. Love you, Jobs. She's helping us a lot on the client side. And so we're really revisiting everything. We're finding some challenges with the verbiage and what we were doing before. It's pretty amazing because we're streamlining it. We kind of handed it to someone. Hey, do this. Did a fantastic job. But you know what? It takes another set of eyes. We go in and actually 3 more sets of eyes. And we're looking at it again. And I love what we're coming up with. Just the communication's better. And yeah.
Yeah, it's nice because some of now here's some of the challenges, and this happened on our call this morning. So a couple people make recommendations that I don't agree with, and what's the best way to work through that, right, without offending anybody? Well, I brought this up too, right, because you and I disagreed on something. Not really disagreed, but you brought up something, and I felt we had already accomplished that. But what's a good way of saying, no, I would rather not do that. Let's do this without offending somebody and without hurting anybody's feelings so that their voice means something? I actually encourage being challenged. I love it because obviously I don't know everything. I don't even know part of anything, right? So a lot of the ideas that I have, maybe I don't think them through all the way. And so it's important to get feedback from others. But what's more important is that if someone offers an idea, I don't laugh at them and I don't shoot them down. You have to encourage that because it's empowering, right? Everybody on our team has a voice. They're amazing. They're gifted. They're talented. They're super smart. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on our team, right? So, and Jody Krangle, she says, I love it. Outsource is such a godsend for me. Oh, yes. And she does. She has a lot of people that does her editing and stuff for her. And she resent it. So the spelling was correctly. I absolutely agree, Jody. And Ashley Duell, she says, hi, Jamie. These guys are amazing. I highly recommend Bottleneck. Lifesaver to a scaling small business. Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much, Ashley. We're looking forward to working with you as well. And it's so there. I wanted to put that out there because that was one of the challenges that we experienced, although it was this morning. But I think it's really important to kind of follow up with that. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She agrees.
Yeah. So I had to turn my video off because I was getting really angry because he was shooting down everything I said. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding. I have a sore arm. I was grimacing for that. But no, he was very he questioned. He didn't say, no, we already do that. He said, because people look at things differently. Maybe we're talking about different things in the same way. So he thinks what I'm talking about is what he has in his mind. But no, I'm talking about something else. So you know what? I left it at that. I was like, it's not worth it to continue to go through this. Show me what you've got, and then I'll tell you what I was talking about. So now I'm going to go through the whole the whole template. I'm going to go through the exercise. And then once I look at that, I'm like, oh yeah, that has what I thought. Or, hey, this is perfect, but we could add to this by adding this. It's just, I want to make it as simple. I'm a big picture person. I want to be able to look at something and get all my information very succinctly in one page, not with details, but a huge overview. And then be able to go, okay, so that's there. Okay, now let's go find it and let's look at the details of that.
Yep.
Much like the table of contents of a book, that's very important to me. And I want to make sure that is, if there's other people that learn and work the way I do, that we have that within all of our workflows with anything that we present to clients, to our DDAs, anything, to each other.
Yep.
Like the to-do list on the chalkboard.
Yeah, we have this chalkboard in the kitchen. And so I'll come out there, Sarah, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got to look at the chalkboard. She's like, went to the store. Or every time we start running out of stuff, we write it down on the chalkboard. So the next time we go, there's a running list of all the stuff we need to grab while we're out. So it's a nice reminder.
Or honey-do lists, or don't forget it's trash day.
Yep.
You know.
Good old Thursday mornings. So these are some of the challenges that I think we had that experience this week. Some of the wins. What were some of the wins this week?
I think it was the input from everybody. Everybody is feeling empowered. What did we find out when we talked about the IRM, which is the
intake review meeting?
Yeah. So we learned, and also when interviewing clients and candidates, that empower them, ask questions, encourage them to ask questions. The more questions you ask, the more information you get, and the more, I don't know, is powerful the right word? You feel in the conversation, but you feel like an important part of the conversation. You're empowered.
And I think it's very respectful to ask insightful questions. It allows people to know that, hey, you really care. You're hearing and understanding what the questions are, and if you don't understand them fully, you ask a question. And I think it's really important too, and I love that she brought this up, because this probably was one of our biggest wins this week, in that everybody is working together so well. And I think it's showing through to some of our leads and some of our clients. And so one of the biggest things that I shared with everybody was, how do you ask a question? And I thought that was pretty insightful. And we're getting team feedback that, hey, this works, this is good. And if you want to know how to ask a question correctly, let me know. I'd be happy to elaborate on that. I think it's really powerful to put you in a position of caring, being authentic, but also respecting who it is that you're talking to, and not wasting their time.
Right. We talked about when someone asks you a question, like in an interview, you listen intently and with purpose. Then you repeat the question back to them, so you make sure you know what they're asking. And then you answer the question. Then after you answer the question, ask them a question. Is this what everything that you ask? Am I answering this correctly? Did I understand your question correctly? Is this the information you wanted? Et cetera. Whatever it takes to, you want to feel connected, that you're listening intently, that you're there in the conversation.
Yeah, so
Silence.
I wanted to put this, this was our word of the year last year, listen intently and soulfully to engage notably. And I think we're really practicing that this year as well. So just because it was our word of the year last year doesn't mean that we cannot use that this year. It's something that we learned last year to embrace for forever. So each of these words that we use, we definitely want to use those. So I think it's very powerful to listen and then to ask the proper questions. That's something very positive that happened.
Yeah. And so what are you thankful about that was very positive?
Well, I really like that. That was cool. I think some of the things that I enjoyed, I was very happy with my production this week.
Oh, super excited.
Yeah. Every single day was productive for me this week. It's just every once in a while you have a really good day. Well, I had a really good week. Like, it was good. Like, I was happy this week. It was good. We got a lot of stuff done, and I didn't waste a lot of time this week, which is typically something that I do.
So Jamie's week, I compare it to studying for a test. So you walk out of a test and you're like, I nailed it. Or you're like, oh God, I don't know, I think I did terrible. Why do you think you nailed it? Because you prepared. You took the time to prepare.
And she pushed me, like, because it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, she was outside working her hindquarters off with her mom, building a shed out back. And I was in here, and she said, no, Jamie, you're not going to help me today. Kind of cool, because I don't like being, but I mean, I would have definitely helped her had I been out there. I felt bad seeing her walk around and do it all, but she had a blast with her mom, right? So I'm okay with saying that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not in trouble there too much. But what was really cool is she said, Jamie, you stay in there and you finish your presentations, and these were, I had 4-5 different live talks I have to give this month,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed to prepare for each one of them. And so she said, Jamie, you stay in there. And this was on a Saturday and a Sunday, by the way. I typically don't work on the weekends, but I finished them all. I finished all of those presentations.
Yeah, we could have gone to the lake. We could have gone camping. We could have done a lot of things, but it's important to realize that there's sometimes you got to be prepped. You got to have everything ready to go. And I knew what happens on Monday when the rest of the team comes back in is, they require his attention, even though Monday is a work day for him. We don't like to work every weekend, and we don't get up early and work like slaves, at our typical at Bottleneck, but we do work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and if we didn't work, we'd be okay. But when it comes to something like doing something out of the ordinary, preparing for something, I thought that was great. That was huge of Jamie to do that and not procrastinate, because we'll talk about this speech he gave in Florida, and he walked up. He had not prepared. He provided the PowerPoint like 10 minutes before it was supposed to start.
It was late.
Oh God. And Jamie goes up to the front, and as soon as they hand him the microphone, his shirt goes from white to kind of gray because it's now drenched in sweat, literally. And his sweat is running off his face. And he's like, oh, is it hot in here? Does anybody else think it's hot in here? You know why? It's because he wasn't prepared. He wasn't ready to go. And, I was
never been invited back since.
And I had to laugh. I was like, oh my God. But, you do these things to yourself, live and learn, lesson learn. There's never a mistake. Or if you do make a mistake, always think of it as an opportunity to learn.
Yep. So I learned big time from that one.
Yep.
But what was really nice is that Sara and I were able to communicate effectively. She did her deal. I did mine. We both accomplished the task that we set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
And would we have liked to have been together and work together? Sure. But there, as long as we communicate it, we're good. We're good. And she's right. A lot of that stuff I don't like doing, but do I do it? I do.
He does.
I may not have a big smile on my face, but if she tells me to do something, I'll do it. But that's just out of respect, out of love, out of wanting to make her life easier. Whatever we can do for each other, we do, and that carries over. So that's why I don't believe in work-life balance. I believe in life balance. Mm-hmm. It's a life.
Yeah.
So that's that was a good point. So what do we have coming up next week?
Next week, we've got what do we have? You have your presentation. I go through the same thing every week. I do invoicing, payroll, bookkeeping, and then I help where I can. And so we're finalizing IRM. What?
So next week I have 2 presentations, which I'm pretty excited about, and one for a private entrepreneur group, and another for a local Springfield organization here, which should be pretty interesting. Both are remote-based, virtual, and I also have several documents that I need to complete next week in order for us to complete our onboarding process. So what's really cool about our onboarding process, Raina, my assistant, who's been fantastic, there's the what and the how for every process that we create here, every workflow. The what is, the how is, the step-by-step process. So every time you click the mouse button, we should have a step for that. So step 1, picture. Step 2, a screenshot of that screen. So step 1 is go to this URL with a screenshot. Step 2 is go to the upper right-hand corner and click on login with a screenshot. Step 3 is enter your username and password, with the login. Like very detailed.
It seems like, well, that's obvious. No, literally it's not. It's not. You may do it 100 times. That's so obvious. But to somebody to come in, we want them to come in and go, this is so easy. I'm jumping in. I got this.
And Raina, yay, shout out to me. Yeah, but what's really neat, so that's the what. Now the how. That's the if-then scenario. It's attached to that. It's a mind mapping. So no matter how good you are at setting out a workflow, a process, specifically for all of us, we all have sales processes, I hope, or there is a way that you get somebody to pay you for your services or products, correct? Well, there's what happens if, then I should do this, right? So we have the mind mapping, what is the, the what, if then, what do we do all there? So if someone doesn't fill out, the questionnaire, what do we do? If someone does fill out the questionnaire, what do we do? So there's all of this for the entire process that's tied to our step-by-step workflow. And that is really exciting because we're getting close to finalizing that this next week.
And Raina's done so much work. She's doing mind mapping for the entire process. Do you know how many steps there are and how many, well, if, then, or what? It's a ton.
And it's so detailed. It's so incredible. It's amazing. And let me see. Gracie Ann says, watching you from Saudi. Well, hi, Gracie Ann. So yeah, I'm really excited about that because we're getting really close to finalizing that. Doing some graphics and stuff associated with that. Also this week, I believe I have upcoming week. I am excited to talk with Ashley Berghoff. She is a big time into systems and processes. So that's going to be really fun. She is a2online.com. And then what's really cool, that's happening on Tuesday, the 20th. On Thursday, the 22nd, and both of these are at 2 p.m. Central, by the way, I'll be talking with Wade Forbes. And if you haven't heard of Wade Forbes, go check this guy out. I was having a conversation with the one and only Elaine Pofelt. She's a ghostwriter, contributor for Forbes and all this. And we've been so blessed to have her write a couple articles for us. And she's just amazing, the most kind-hearted person, super smart, Yale graduate. But we were having this cool conversation about, how business was happening right now. And she wrote the book, The $1 Million One-Person Business. So people that have made $1 million or more that don't have any employees, W-2 employees. Really interesting concept. Which, by the way, she's featuring a story by me and coming up in her next book out in March. But Wade happened to be listening to our conversation, and he, like I showed you, the graphic, yeah. It was so freaking cool. He's like an artist, a really good artist, and so he wrote the notes down in
graphically, in like cartoon form.
It was crazy.
It was amazing, yeah. And this is not what he did pre-COVID.
No, he was a cybersecurity or something like that for the military or something. He was a cybersecurity expert or something. But it was really, really cool how he did that. And I thought, that is so amazing. How did you? I mean, like he posted that up there as soon as our conversation was done.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was so cool. And so he's going to be on Thursday to talk about what he's doing now. And it's neat seeing what everybody is doing right now and how these amazing people are pivoting or changing or moving in a direction that's beneficial to not only them, but to so many people that they come in contact with. So yeah, without getting too woo-woo or cheesy, I love that stuff. I think it's fantastic. So that's some of the things that are coming up this week. So hopefully you'll join us Tuesday at 2 p.m. I'll be speaking with Ashley Berghoff. We'll be talking all about systems and processes. I think she's going to talk about how to delegate effectively is basically the conversation there. And then on Thursday at 2 o'clock, we'll be talking with Wade Forbes and seeing what he's up to. So that should be pretty exciting.
That sounds exciting. Yeah. And we're working really hard on our 90-day implementation plan. So for any of you that aren't familiar with Bottleneck, we don't just place you with someone. We don't place someone with you. We just don't take a warm body and like, oh yeah, they can do Microsoft Word and Adobe and here you go. No, we have a whole process where we match. We like hold your hand and help you with the hiring process because so many people have never hired anybody before and they don't realize the work involved and what it takes to hire someone that's going to be there for the long run that you're going to create a relationship with. because this is about having a relationship. People that work with you, that are part of your team, you want them to have similar goals, similar
belief system.
Yeah. And so they're part of your team, and so you support each other, and you're gonna you're gonna get along. They're gonna get you. You're gonna get them, and it's such a win-win relationship. I mean, everybody's been in a work environment where it's so toxic. You're just like, oh, you hate going to work. You just cringe when a certain person walks by, or they come up and they leave a comment. You're like, oh, it's terrible. That's what we avoid, and we help you with the process. And it takes work. It takes work on both ends, but that's what we love to do.
Yeah, it really is. So we are once again tweaking our onboarding process, as we commonly do, for the better. Yeah. So what she said is we're actually going to create a 90-day implementation plan. We'll have a deliverable that'll accompany this plan, so that we'll actually give not only our clients, but also our distant assistants, so that they're on the same page. And we will outline a 90-day plan that is ready to go for our clients when they hop on board. And what's really cool is that the DDA, our dedicated distant assistant that we assign to our client, is going to be on the exact same page. And so there's a lot of background work that needs to go into that, but we're super excited to be able to deliver that to our clients starting next week.
Yep. Yeah, it's starting next week is a deliverable?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was that soon.
Yeah, we have
we
have our meetings already set up. So we're pretty excited. Yeah, and then other than that, we're just kind of hanging out. Sarah and I are going to go play some hockey today.
And pick up Jamie's computer, so he no longer we're on a laptop. That's why we're like, hey.
Get to pick up my computer. It's fixed. Yay!
Yeah, that's exciting. And then we send this one in.
Because this one's fixed. I'm pretty easy on the equipment.
So, hey, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
We're going to go play hockey, and I hope you guys go out and have a fantastic weekend, and you're able to spend some quality time doing whatever and with whom you want, and that you feel grateful.
You feel as awesome as we do.
And this is a little chilly.
Yeah, it did get a little chilly here in Springfield, Missouri. Boy, it was chilly last night. I think it got up to 55 or maybe 60 yesterday.
It was warmer in the morning than it was in the afternoon, and then it got down. We had a very light freeze last night. I think it down to 31. So I'm very sad for my plants outside, but it's that time of year.
Yeah, we gotta go winterize the boat here pretty soon.
Yep.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Gracia, Raina, Ashley, Jody. Thanks for commenting. For those of you that are listening to us and you have comments or questions, please reach out. Let us know. I'd love to chat with you and or suggestions on how we might be able to improve. It was really neat last week. We got some encouraging advice, and maybe that's something that we roll out in the future. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember that we want to try and do our best to help you stop the bottleneck in your business. And also remember to start your own ripple. Be creative. Set up positive ripple effects so that anything you do affects other people in positive ways. And maybe today or this weekend, do something you wouldn't normally do for someone else that isn't expecting it, right? Just kind of spread the love. Spread the love. We all need it. So thank you so much for tuning in. Anything else you want to say before we wrap?
I love you.
I love you. She's amazing. All right. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. And if you're watching this in later on, whenever you're watching it, hope you're having a great day. Okay. Bye for now. Oh, we got to play the cool little, we got to play us off. We got to pop these on there.